Hello and welcome to Talkin' Baseball. We had another wild weekend of results and action and drama, and Trevor's back from Florida, so how about that? Hello and welcome to Talkin' Baseball, presented by DraftKings. Thank you very much for tuning in. We hope you had a wonderful weekend. We hope you watched some baseball and enjoyed it. And since you cannot watch every single game on every single night, we're here to fill you in on a little bit of what happened. Who's hot, who's not, what's good, what's bad, what are the main storylines. And we got a bunch. Pretty excited about it. My name's Jimmy. Sitting next to me is Jake in California, back in his studio. We have Trevor Plouffe, and in the corner, we have producer Bug Dude wearing San Diego Padres jersey today. What do you think about that, Trev?
I like it.
Okay.
You're allowed to root for whoever you want to root for, BBD. Okay?
Yeah,
it looks good on you. I
we
like
don't
the
sell
colors
Phillies infield specific stuff, and I don't care about the whole team. So.
Just the infield. You should get a custom Phillies jersey that just says the infield. If the Phillies are listening,
the infield,
they should send BBD a custom jersey that on the back the name says the infield.
Infield,
the Phillies,
like a 5 or 6 for the number of positions.
It should be like 1, 2, 3, or no pitcher. So it's
2 through
3, 4, 6, 5 should be the number infield.
Yeah. Or 2 through 6 you could do.
Yeah.
And then up top says the infield.
A classic jersey, a classic baseball man's jersey.
I'm saying if the Phillies are listening,
we're all on to BBD's secret. Like, he had us going for a while, but we found him out. So
no, he's like still like right now, Trev. Yeah. I've been like, well, maybe they are good now because all I see is highlights. I still don't know. I have to check every 2 weeks to see how the infield is actually doing.
Well, sneak peek to our best friend of the week, maybe a part of that.
Ooh. Jake, how are you doing?
James, Trevor, Big Baby David, Trevor Plouffe is still my favorite Phillies infielder of all time. So that's pretty big. Doing well, man. I mean, obviously Dodgers Pods stole the show, which was fantastic for baseball. I mean, in a little bit of the classic baseball, we end up in extra innings, so everyone has to do their thing on that, and it does suck, and it's not real baseball. But, man, I mean, watching Tatís do it on the big stage, watching that comeback, watching all the talent on the field, incredible. Our Yankees finally showed some signs of life, so that was enjoyable. And, man, a lot of, like, standout performance and awards and stuff. A lot of guys dropped it this weekend, so I'm excited to talk about
what?
it. Oh, yeah. Yep. Hammer time.
Who's playing the most time at second base for the Phillies?
Jimmy.
No.
So
because that's the only position they actually lead the league in OPS.
It was Gene Segura.
Or wins above that in WAR.
Gene Segura, he's hurt right now. And then Nick Maton stepped in and been awesome.
Little Brad Miller action there.
Brad Miller's been getting
they're second in OPS at second base as a team.
I think every time Miller's gotten into a game late at second, those have been the days he's gotten. Like,
you don't
doubles.
want me to say the first base, third base, shortstop numbers.
Catcher.
Well, look at this weekend.
Fifth in catcher.
Brad Miller's sneaky hot boy. He's tall, got a good body.
Ooh, I don't know.
Funny.
In your backyard.
Not traditionally good looking.
Trev,
but
I'll
put it all together.
I'll handle the not traditionally good looking, all right?
It's fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Thank you.
I'll give that to you.
It's his domain. All right, you guys want to get right into it?
I need to hear it.
Trev, do you know what happened in the National
Are you
League?
ready even? Like,
I'm not doing the National League, James.
I know. So I'm asking, do you know? And then you're supposed to say, no, Jim, I have no idea. And then I'm saying, well, here you go.
I screwed that one up big time.
Yeah.
No, Jim, I didn't see any of it. Can you please inform me about the baseball that happened?
Hell yeah, let's do it. The series that everyone was talking about, and for good reasons, is the first one I'm going to talk about. The Padres took 3 out of 4 from the Dodgers in another exciting series. They've now played 7 times this season, and 6 of the 7 have had the tying or winning run come to the plate in the last inning. So just Crazy good baseball. All the Dodgers starters had good outings. Darvish shoved in his. The Dodgers were about to split the series. Sunday Night Baseball, they were up 7-1 after 6. The Padres came back. Bauer and Tatís had some fun, trash-talking each other, peeking. Sheldon Noisy got his first hit as a Dodger, his first homer as a Dodger, and had a big series. Good for him, but Padres did sweep. The Giants not sweep, they took 3 or 4. The Giants keep going. They take 3 out of 4 from the Marlins. Holy smokes, the Giants' 4 starters combined for 27 innings and only 2 earned runs, and both runs were solo homers. The Giants' bullpen allowed 7 earned runs in 9 innings, so not as good as the starting pitching. Yaz with a big series at the plate for San Francisco, 5 hits, 2 homers. And on the Marlins side, Pablo Sanchez had a good start, and Corey Dickerson, the only Marlin with good offensive numbers. Brewers took 2 out of 3 from the Cubs. Brett Anderson left game 1 with a knee injury. Lindblom gets called up to replace him, and the Cubs light him up. But the Cubs lose the next 2 games. Arrieta and Hendricks did have good starts. Woodruff had a good start for the Brew Crew. Kane is very close to returning, and the Brewers are optimistic that Yelly can be back before the end of the week. So that's good news for the Brew Crew, who are now just winning. The Mets beat the Nationals 2 times, and they lose once. DeGrom, complete game shutout, 15 Ks, only 2 hits, and he recorded 2 hits himself with an RBI. He's insane. Alonso, Conforto, and Davis combined for 12 hits and 3 homers. Patrick Corbin with another stinker for the Nats, and the Nats only recorded 2 extra base hits the entire series. That ain't good. The D-backs with another series win. They're now at 500. They took 2 of 3 from the Braves. The Braves took game 1, but then the D-backs held the Braves to 1 hit over 14 innings during the Sunday doubleheader. Zach Gallen goes complete game 1 hitter in game 1 of the 7-inning doubleheader, and then Bumgarner goes complete game no hitter in game 2. Yikes, the Braves. Not good. Congratulations, the D-backs. The Cardinals sweep the Reds, and the Cardinals really needed a series win and a sweep, so I'm a little bit happy for them. Sad for the Reds. Only the 2nd series wins for the Cards on the season. They got good starts from Kim, Gant, and Jay Flair. Dylan Carlson went off 7 hits in the series. Good job, the Cardinals. Jake's Rocks took 2 out of 3 from the Phillies. Tapia hit a walk-off home run in game 1. Hoskins, Phillies infield, he went off 2-run home run and 3-run home run in game 2 after homering game 1 as well. 10 guys pitched for the Phillies in this series. 9 of them gave up an earned run. That ain't good. For the Rocks, Cron, Tapia, and Story, those 3 guys combined for 18 hits and 5 homers in the 3 games. Wild. And that's your National League update.
Nice going, Jim. That was smooth sailing for you right there.
Appreciate it. I had time, so I wrote it out. Yeah, some good stuff, guys. Where do you want to start? I feel like it's a lot of give and take right now in the National League. Like the Phillies, I feel like they just won a series, now they lose a series. The Mets lose a series, now they win a series. The Rockies lose, now they win. The Cardinals lose, now they win. It's like, and now the Dodgers lost. So I don't know. The Brewers are the only team really consistently winning series. It feels like.
We've brainwashed ourselves a little bit. I mean, we've been so excited for 162, and Trev, I know we'll talk about this with your Yanks a little bit coming up, but you are so into it, and we're rolling that. I joked this morning, like, if any team railed off a 5-game win streak right now, like basically except the Detroit Tigers, it changes the outlook of their season. You're either off and running or you're feeling it. But yeah, I mean, NL East, full slog mode. NL Central, full slog, minus the Brewers. Be cool if the Cards get hot. We like the Cards. We're obviously biased. We love Jay Flair. Chris Rose rotation today so that's a lot of fun. But yeah, I don't know what kind of jumped out. You mentioned that the Cards, and the other side of that, what jumps out to me, like we got all excited about the Reds. The Reds are hitting this year. They're doing it. Yeah, we kind of like them. Castillo, Sonny Gray's back. They're in a bad place right now. They've lost They're 2-8 in their last 10. I don't know. The Mets
We
have
talked
been
about
fun.
that though, right?
Yeah.
Like they wanted to have the big dick swinging attitude. You just can't. I mean, then this happens, and where does it all go? Like, if you have an identity, keep your identity. Like, are they still doing all those things they were doing when they were winning those baseball games? Probably not. So, like, I think it's funny when teams do that. They come out, they're talking all this shit because they're winning some baseball games, then they go in a little rut like this, and now everyone's tails are between their legs. Like, if you got an identity, keep doing your identity. If that's what you want it to be, you got to keep going.
Keep your tails out.
Keep
You know
your
what I'm talking
tails
about?
out. Yeah. Dodgers lose.
Giants.
Dodgers lose 3 out of 4, and they still have the most wins in the National League. How about that?
Yeah.
They're good. The Giants, yeah. I did look up Milwaukee. They've won 5 out of 7 series. I'd be interested to see series stats. What team is winning the most series? Also, Jake, I really want to do the other stat we talked about in Talking Yanks. Just which team has the most starting pitchers go 6 innings? Don't even care about results, Trev. Just that's so huge right now, early on, like bullpen not being overworked. We'll see.
Yeah.
You want to talk about the Giants, Trev? Their pitching was insane.
I mean, they're 14-8 on the season. They're ahead of the Padres in the standings. We talked about them a lot in the season, the preseason leading up, and where are they going? Like, what's the direction? They signed Gausman really early. We're like, okay, they're at least being somewhat aggressive in free agency, like, but we still don't know the direction. But my man Gabe Kapler's at the helm. Maybe he doesn't even know the direction, but I know one thing. He's working those guys. They respect him, and like they're just going out and playing good ball. A lot of names that you don't necessarily know. I mean, Yastrzemski is a name because he came out like gangbusters last year, and his grandpa is a guy. But like other than that, these guys are just kind of getting it done really under the radar. Everyone's talking about the Dodgers and the Padres series, but you look up, what are they? They're 1 game back of the Dodgers. 1 game back of the Dodgers. And I hate looking at standings before 2 months into the season, but I think we need to give a little bit of credit for what they've been able to do there. Something's going on. I love the player development there. Like there's something going on.
Well,
and can they keep this up? I'm very interested to see.
Good pitching is what's going on. Gausman goes 8 innings pitched, 1 earned run. Aaron Sanchez, 5 innings pitched, 0 earned runs. Logan Webb, 7 innings pitched, 0 earned runs. Alex Wood, 7 innings pitched, 1 earned run. Which, when it's that dominant, leads me to believe the Marlins are a bit stinky right now.
Team ERA on the season is 2.94. I don't want to send shots fired at Yastrzemski because Trev mentioned this fun fact, but my grandpa was also a guy. But no, the pitching's been lights out, dude. You look at if you go to their baseball reference, they have 6 starting pitchers listed. Gausman, Webb, Disco, Cueto, Sanchez, and Wood. Logan Webb's ERA is 4.03 in 4 starts, which is whatever. Everyone else is under 2.14. So when you get someone giving you an effort every night out of the starting pitching on the bump, that helps out. And then for the offense, it kind of turns into a spin zone. Nobody's really going gangbusters. Like Posey and Longoria got off to nice starts for themselves. But, Yaz, the OPS is sneaking up a little bit. Nobody else is going. So it's, it's the spin zone. Do you say, hey, maybe these Giants got more in the tank? Or, if the pitching starts to level out a little bit and the hitting stays there, we might get kind of a little more of what we expected from the Giants this year. But I love their coaching staff. So
Yaz was the only hitter that really had very impressive numbers in this series. It was all pitching.
It's cool to see when a team can reel off some wins like this and only have one of their sides firing. If they do get it all working at the same time, like maybe we're talking about a good baseball team here. I'm going to quiz you guys right now.
Yes.
I'm looking at the team stats. I hope you don't have it up. Obviously, we're talking about the Giants. They're 3rd in the league in ERA plus right now, which is awesome. The other top 5, you could name 3 of them for sure. Do you know who's number 1 in the league right now?
An ERA plus?
Yep.
ERA plus.
There's absolutely no way you're going to get this unless you've seen it.
Okay, someone pitching good that you wouldn't expect us to know. It's got my brain spinning. The Mets.
Like literally, we talked about them all offseason about like what are they doing? They need pitching.
Oh, Texas.
The Toronto Blue Jays.
Oh, okay.
Toronto Blue Jays.
It's their bullpen has been lights out.
Yeah, they've been doing it, man. It's interesting to see when you look up stats like that right now. The Giants sitting right behind the Padres at 130 ERA plus. They're twirling it out there.
I think Jake made a good point about how last year in only 60 games has kind of brainwashed us, because I never looked at the standings until before the All-Star game or paid them any mind or cared about anything as much as I'm caring about right now. And I think it's because we're you said, like you win 5 games, your whole outlook is better. And I think 2 years ago we wouldn't even be doing this, but we're just so excited to get like 162 again. We kind of forgot none of this matters that much.
Pirates are 500. We'll talk about them in a little bit.
Yeah.
I looked at this in the chat. One of my good buddies, Kurt Casale, former teammate of mine, the stat was he caught 5 shutout games in a row.
That's cool.
That's
that.
awesome.
I like that, Kurt.
That's incredible, dude. So, hey, if you want to stick around in the show, Kurt, keep doing that. The guy will have 10 years before you know it. I love when catchers get that stigma, like they call good games, they handle the staff well. Those guys have the longest freaking careers, man.
True view.
Yeah.
True view.
All right. One thing I wanted to note was that I didn't say it, but Walker for the Mets, Taiwan, friend of the program, he had a really good start. Stroman had a not a good start after DeGrom, and then Walker picked it right back up for the Mets. That's pretty cool. And then let's talk Padres Dodgers real quick. I mean, this was like a big storyline Sunday Night Baseball. Down 7-1. The Padres come back. Eno Saris had a great tweet about the Padres hitters versus the Dodgers bullpen. Like the Dodgers bullpen's power sinkers and high fastballs, which that style of pitching can only get beat by singles and singles to the opposite way. And the Padres just hit 3 of those in a row. And it's like matchup like nightmare. I thought that was really cool nugget from our friend Eno. And the comeback was cool. And you thought like, oh, man, Sunday Night Baseball is going to be the only one that's a blowout. That's a bummer because the series has been so good. And then the Padres come back and make it a game. So, I mean, I know that everyone's talking about it and we want to spread the love around the league. But I was watching that game. And I was watching when Noisy hit that home run. And there was like little kids in the crowd. Like the camera, like ESPN showed like little kids like going crazy and doing like going to the music and dancing. And I'm like, man, I know it's impossible to have every game be what this is because this is like special baseball, 2 really talented teams in the same market, blah, 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 blah. But man, if we can get like every game to just be a touch closer to how those feel, I mean, that is like a Padres game and Dodgers game went up against the Oscars and like views and being talked about. That doesn't happen usually. So, or in the last couple of years. So that was awesome. And then we do have the Bauer and Tatís stuff where they're tweeting at each other and Bauer said that, celebrations are okay. I don't care. They really trolled him. They did like all of his stuff right back in his face, covering the eye, the strut.
Good.
And then, but again, good, fun. And Bauer didn't care either. He's like, yeah, it's fine. Yeah. And he even said like he did the sword to Hosmer and then Hosmer did it right back. After he got hit?
That's what I'm talking about. Let's have some fun. Baseball is fun. And that's what it was. And I think, Jim, what you're trying to say is like they were having fun. They were also playing elite baseball, man. I mean, the guys that pitched in this series, it ends up being one of the butter knife stats of this series, but Tatís is the first guy ever to hit 2 home runs on back-to-back days off of different Cy Young winners. So, again, you got to chop that up a little bit to get there. But think about it. I mean, Kershaw, Bauer, Tatís got 2 off of both of them. The guy's a sick puppy, man. And then he gets the 1, but it's the blowout game, and then he's on the bases, and just everywhere he shows up, except the defense right now, figuring out a little bit. But everything is so talented, so fun. I mean, even the casual hair flip. I mean, Santa Maria!
You brought me into the broadcast because watching that was something. Listening to A-Rod, let me just say, like I know that people feel a certain way about him, but if you just went in there and just didn't know who he was, you would say that guy doesn't know baseball. He didn't play baseball. He was trying to describe a safety squeeze which is essentially just a squeeze that the runner reads the ball down before he takes off. It's not a full-on squeeze. That's it. That's the definition of a safety squeeze.
Got it.
See the ball down and go first. He couldn't do that. And listening to him talk about the game and saying, oh, these guys are channeling, they're for sure thinking about Tony Gwynn when they're up at the plate because they hit a few ground balls that got through the infield. No, they're not.
Definitely
They weren't
not.
thinking about Tony Gwynn. So it was, I don't know if he adds to, I feel like he's almost so out there and so strange that he almost like adds to the game.
People,
Like,
I was posting all the clips of the stuff he's saying, and people are like, "Why don't you just put on the nerd broadcast?" And I like Benetti, but they're too much for me. Like I actually kind of.
I didn't even know there was another
Yeah,
broadcast.
ESPN2 does it. It's too much. I don't like it. I love analytics and like having that info, but I kind of like it after the fact. Like they just kind of inundate you with it. But A-Rod's hilarious. I'm almost to the point where like I want him to stay on. It's a Martian.
Yes.
He's just not a human. He probably is in normal conversations, maybe, but like he's not a human on that broadcast. It's almost like Third Rock from the Sun, a Martian trying to fit in. It's so weird. I mean, this soundbite.
His name is Mookie Betts. I said, Poppy, can he play baseball? He said, man, can he play baseball?
I mean, I was giggling.
That conversation never happened, by the way.
I mean, obviously, that's what we said in the office. Like, I was like, and the funniest thing is like that story just 100% never happened. Like,
do you think David Ortiz straight up said he's going to be the face of the Red Sox for 2 decades?
No.
Have you ever heard anybody?
He said Rod.
He said, Rod, this guy's a great bowler. This guy's he can dunk a basketball. Like that stuff about Mookie wasn't even like in the, like, how would David Ortiz know that from,
This is
like,
he's probably said, look, Alex maybe asked about Mookie and Ortiz probably said, hey, he's special, man. Like this guy can play basketball. He's a bowler.
He didn't
can
say
do
that
all these things. He's going to be a really good baseball.
David Ortiz didn't know that 19-year-old Mookie Betts could do all that stuff when he was a professional hitter.
He probably did because people do talk about that. People talk about that with Mauer. Like Mauer's a scratch golfer, can bowl, can play,
Florida
quarterback. Florida State signee, like, so you do know what kind of athlete these guys are, but there's no way he just went in like that. And I mean, the whole conversation was just completely made up, basically. Like they maybe talked about it a few different times, little bits here and there, and then A-Rod's like, okay, let me put it all together and talk about it on Sunday night.
Does A-Rod have any idea
Poppy.
the entertainment he's providing?
Yeah, I think he sees all this.
Oh, is
and
he
just thinks,
self-aware?
I think he's no.
He sees interactions.
Not self-aware.
Yeah, he sees interactions and says it's good.
Okay.
Yeah. No, he's not self-aware.
No, I mean, it was a comedy show.
I hope he never gets self-aware because it's kind of like so bad it's good, like one of those things.
He might try harder.
I was laughing.
It's bizarre.
It's entertainment.
Like he's not a human.
Saying Tony Gwynn never struck out 40 times in a season with that baseball game that was going on last night was completely meaningless. Completely meaningless. The hitters don't care. The pitchers are throwing a little grosser stuff than when Tony was around. And by the way, Tony Gwynn's widely regarded as one of the best hitters to ever play the game. So let's not compare every hitter in this game. Rayleigh, some of the guys the Dodgers are throwing out because of injuries, like, you know, Jorge Mateo, my guy, I don't think we should be comparing him to Tony Gwynn right now. Like, A-Rod, it's a form of entertainment. I don't know what it is.
When he said no launch angle, like no, it had a launch angle. Like every ball has a launch angle. It could be negative, could be positive. He goes, no launch angle. Like, dude, Machado, I promise you, wasn't trying to hit a ground ball to second base. Okay, like he just, it was a slider. He got out in front of it a little bit, kept his hands through, and that's where the ball went. Like he is not trying to shift beat. But A-Rod, according to A-Rod, he channeled Tony Gwynn because he was thinking about him. Did it.
Channeled Tony Gwynn. Possessed. Oh, my God.
John Turner's reaction. Most players would be standing at second base. Mookie Betts goes first to third. JT says, hey, big fella, thank you for that steak.
He called the truck, and it was an at-bat later. He called to the truck. Was like, can you show that replay of Turner and Betts high-fiving? And then how is the producer not like just say no to that? Nah, you're right. We're gonna keep moving on. No, trust me, I have this steak joke lined up.
We're gonna stick with the game here.
It's so funny. Trev, Tatís peeking nonsense. Did you ever peek down at a catcher's placement? Did you ever take a gander, try to look at his fingers or try to look at the way he shuffles?
It does happen from time to time, but me personally, no. I told you guys pre-show, like, you try to do it right now. Like, anybody that's listening to this, go ahead and put your eyes down and peek back this way. Like, it's really hard to see. And, like, you got to think there's a catcher with his legs shadowing. He's got his glove there. It's really hard to see. And I mentioned this on the IG Live with Chris Rose that we're doing every day. There's one time that you can do that as a hitter and you know what's going on. It's like the 1 o'clock games, 3 o'clock games when the sun is just right and the shadows are casting out towards the field of play. You can see where the catcher's lining up. That's one thing I used to love. I would look at that all the time.
That's interesting.
But
that's cool.
Yeah. To peek down and see a sign, like maybe you're doing it to see where he's setting up, but it's really hard to go and look at his fingers right there. So, yeah, I thought your video was great on it.
Yeah, I mean, because I went to and see it, but the sign was done, and like even then it was like this cutter sign, which is like 5 or 3, or it's like some weird 3 with a thumb up. So like even if you did see it, I don't think Tatís knows like, oh, that's the cutter. It wasn't like 1 or 2, but he didn't. The fingers were gone before he even looked or whatever. So.
Yeah, it's a strange gray area because if you're at second base, you can look right in the signs all the time. Like obviously they're going to change up their sequencing, but like they should probably be doing that anyway nowadays. But I would say that's more bush league for a hitter to do it than a runner on second base. But they're kind of the same thing anyway. But Tatís wasn't doing it.
Even so, it's like an outside pitch that he pulled.
Yeah,
so
that was nasty.
Yeah. All right, let's go to the AL. Trev, you have the AL this week?
I got the AL.
I love it.
I'm going to slow it down a little bit because I feel like I go a little too fast and I forget things.
Okay,
so.
Well, before we do that, I got to tell you, Trevor, about Sports Management Worldwide. Do you know who Mike Matheny is?
Yeah.
Sure.
Well, after he was fired from the Cardinals job, his agent decided it was time to grow and improve his knowledge and his skill set. So Mike went to Sports Management Worldwide and took some baseball analytics class, get himself familiarized with the new age terms, what people like, what those nerds are doing in the front offices. He registered for Sports Management Worldwide. Sports Management Worldwide's 8-week online course, Baseball Analytics. He graduated from the program. He's the manager of the Royals now. They're playing some pretty good ball. Can you imagine being one of the 20 other students who logged into Zoom and saw the former Cardinals manager taking a course with you? Well, you can do that right now. If you love baseball, if you want a job in baseball, whether you want to be an agent, a scout, or an analyst, sports broadcaster, or someday the manager, Sports Management Worldwide offers several 8-week online baseball courses, including baseball player development with former 2-time MLB Executive of the Year and former Orioles, Red Sox, and Expos GM Dan Duquette, baseball agent course with MLB agent Oscar Suarez, baseball GM and scouting course with Dodger GM Dan Evans, and 40-year MLB scout Hank Jones, and of course, baseball analytics course with Ari Kaplan, which Mike Matheny took. Apply at smww.com and use the discount code JOMBOY for $50 off the course of your choice. They offer courses in baseball, basketball, football, hockey, soccer, rugby, cricket, and even racing. If you always dreamed of a job working in sports, Sports Management Worldwide can help you. Apply free at smww.com and use the discount code JOMBOY for $50 off the course of your choice. Pretty cool. I'd actually be interested to see like the baseball analytics, how they go about that.
Can that help us with our whole math situation here?
I think I need to go back to arithmetic.
Okay.
But maybe that's step one.
2 steps.
Step 1 of baseball analytics, no math.
Arithmetic.
Know what math
I can
is.
do arithmetic.
I can do addition and subtraction. Kind of. I don't trust myself.
Yeah. Why do you know?
If odd numbers get involved, I'm out. Anyway, the American League.
Mike Matheny.
Trevor, what happened?
Whoa.
The American League. We're going to start off with the Yanks in Cleveland. It's the Odor effect. He is sparking that clubhouse, baby. And Indians take 3 or 4, though. So I don't know what he's sparking.
Vice
Strike
versa.
that, reverse it. Yanks took 3 or 4.
Why did he write that on there? My bad,
Got
guys.
set up for failure.
I'm like Ron Burgundy just reading the sheet right now. Yankees take 3 of 4. Herman versus Raleigh in game 1. Odor has the go-ahead 2-run single in game 1. Higgy also homers. He might be taking the job from Sanchez.
Ooh.
I don't know how you guys feel
Whoa.
about that. We'll talk about it afterwards. Game 2, Montgomery versus Allen. Stanton hits a couple of lasers. Odor hits another homer, and Hicks gets one off of oh my goodness.
Eber.
Sorry, my thing is messed up. Hold on one
Okay.
second, guys. Let me
Time
start
out.
this all over.
Quick
time
Time
out.
out.
Quick 30
You know,
second.
you go on vacation. You're rusty. You're
No. My screen just screwed up on me. Hold on.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I need to refresh it.
Wow. What do you want us to talk about right now?
I hate when my calculator breaks.
No. Start it back up.
You're
I'm ready to
ready.
go.
Okay, here we go.
Here we go. Trevor Plouffe.
Right.
Ladies and gentlemen.
Yanks take 3 of 4. Game 2, Stanton hits 2 lasers. Game 3, it's Cole versus Bieber. They're both who they're supposed to be. Cole, 7 innings pitched, 1 earned run. Bieber, 7 innings pitched, 2 earned runs. Odor and Hicks, for the second game in a row, hit homers, both off Bieber. So Odor is really bringing it. In the last game, the Indians get the better of the Yanks. Franmil Reyes, 3-run home run, falls a double short of the cycle. Tyone, did he change the arm action a little bit? A little longer arm action? Or just, that's what we were talking about a little bit, huh? He's back. Anyways, on to the next series. Mariners in Boston. 2 surprise teams doing really well. We thought they were going to suck, but they're playing pretty well. Game 1, closer than the final score dictates. Dunn versus full pension Piv. Mariners score 4 in the 10th. Haggerty RBI double, and Haniger, my guy Mitch, with a 3-run home run. Boston takes game 2, Perez versus Kikuchi. Bogarts and Martinez, 2 hits and a home run each in game 2. Bogarts had 3 RBIs. The X-Men just gets it done. Game 3, Mariners take pretty easily. Flexen versus Eovaldi. Flexen goes 7 innings pitched with 1 earned run. Seager does all the offense for the Mariners. 3 hits and 3 RBIs, including a 2-run triples. We love triples. We're triples kind of pod. And then in game 4, Red Sox take it 5-3. Rodriguez versus Marjavicius. Red Sox score 4 in the first inning of game 4 on 2 hits, 4 walks, and a hit by pitch. And JD hits 2 doubles. On to the Angels in Houston. Astros take 3 of 4. Friend of the program, Cobb, gets the start in game 1 for the Angels. Loses to Javier. Bregman's 3 hits and 3 RBIs in game 1. Javier, 5 shutout innings with a career high 9 Ks. Game 2, the Astros take it in walk-off fashion. Greinke versus Heaney. Astros score 3 after the Angels score 2 in the 10th of game 2. And then Robel Garcia, little walk-off jam shot into center field to win it for them. Game 3, Astros dominate. Odorizzi has to come out of the game in the first inning. Kent Emanuel comes in. And all he does, 8 2/3, 2 earned runs in the MLB debut. That's incredible. In relief, 8 2/3, doing it. The Astros hit 3 home runs in that game. Game 4, Angels finally get one. Bundy versus McCuller Ohtani with the go-ahead solar home run in the 8th inning. Astros looking to get the field back. Altuve is going to be back Monday. Odorizzi is going to be the doctor on Sunday. We'll see how that goes. Big story out of the contest was Mike Trout hit by a pitch in game 1 and missed the rest of the series. Rendon, Stassi, they're coming back for the Angels as well. That was a good series, though. Now, moving on to the A's going into Oakland. The A's going into Baltimore playing the Orioles. They take 2 out of 3. Their winning streak ends at 13, I believe. They took game 1, Irvin versus Lopez. Cole Irvin, Swervin' Irvin, former Lehigh Valley Iron Pig teammate of mine. 5 1/3 innings pitch, 1 earned run. Laureano hits the homer, and Piscotty with an RBI single. Game 2, Jed Lowry, my guy. 3-run home run in game 2. Canna and Olsen, 2 hits, 2 RBIs apiece. They're running the streak up to 13. And then guess what the Orioles say? We've had enough of that. We've had enough. They win 8-1. Means versus Luzardo. 13-game win streak is snapped. Means 6 1/3 innings, 1 earned runs, and Hayes with a 2-run homer. Moving on, Kansas City going into Detroit. Royals have taken all 3. There's another game tonight. Benintendi and O'Hearn hit home runs in game 1. Benintendi also had a really nice catch in game 1. Soler with a 2-run double. Game 2, 2-1 Royal Singer versus Boyd, a pitcher's duel, if you will. 7 innings pitched, 1 earned run for Singer. Boyd, your guy, Jim, 8 innings pitched, 2 runs, only 1 earned. And in game 3, Royals take it. Duffy versus Fulmer. Duffy with 5 shutout innings in game 3. Hunter Dozier with the homer. Oh, I gotta plug my... Almost there. Blue Jays at Rays. Blue Jays take 2 of 3. Mats versus Glasnow in game 1. Glasnow gives a 5 earned runs, 4 in the first, but case 10 in game 1. Simeon with the 3-run homer. Grichuk also homers. Game 2, Honeywell versus Ray. Yarborough comes and backs up Honeywell. 5 2/3 shutout innings as the long man Zunino and Brasso hit homers, and that Randall Grichuk homers again. Game 3, 1-0. Blue Jays, Rio versus Patino. They both look, and the bullpen comes in, those 5 1/3 shutout innings. They were doing some crazy cheers for our guy. What's his name? The guy that does the squat, Romano.
Oh, yeah, Jordan.
Yeah.
Pretty cool right there. But the Blue Jays are getting some guys back. Springer and Teoscar expect to return this week, and Ryu's expected to be fine. Just a little butt strain. That's all he had. No big deal. And rounding out the AL, Rangers going into Chicago. The White Sox sweep 9-7, 2-1, 8-4. The White Sox win. Kopech does his thing. Calhoun hits the game-tying home run before Madrigal walks it off with a double in game 2. Keuchel's good. Gibby in that game was also good. 6 innings pitched, 1 earned run. Abreu with a 2-run home run and a sac fly in game 3. Madrigal still doing it with a 2-run triple. White Sox get the sweep. I'm exhausted. That's all there is in the AL. Thanks for sticking with me.
Ooh, Kopech. This is the one thing that stood out. Kopech gets a second start through like 90 pitches.
Need that. White Sox need that.
He was supposed to be the piece with Moncada coming over in the Chris Sale trade. A lot of some off-the-field stuff, getting himself right, and he is looking, holy smokes, man. I mean, every year, we talk about this a lot, but every team comes in, with a plan for 8 starting pitchers. You got your starting 5, you got your long man in the bullpen you're going to kick in. You might have a veteran in AAA, you might have a top prospect or 2. I did have a moment because, I was on the Twins bandwagon this offseason, which ain't a fun place to be on right now. But when I saw Kopech and you realize, coming into this year, him and Crochet were kind of like bonus pieces for them. It's like, yeah, this team does have some talent up and down the lineup, deep in the pitching department, and they're having fun right now. Sneaky getting hot. They get a little sweep. I think they won the series before that against Boston. Is it 6 out of 7 now? So they're the White Sox are starting to get into it.
They're good.
I don't know if Crochet was a bonus piece for them. He's the real deal, man. I know he only had a limited action last year, so I guess you're seeing if he could repeat it, but he looks like a problem for the AL Central.
Gross.
Glasnow getting roughed up a little bit. It was all on 2 outs in the first inning, which and then he bounced back for a while and gave him like a good performance. But Blue Jays, 2 outs, first inning, putting together, I don't know, I think it was a hit, a walk, a hit, and a homer. Little 2-out first inning rally. It's pretty exciting.
You could do that. You get ahead in the count on Glasnow. I think he's a guy that you can put some runs up against. Don't fall behind. Not right now.
We see it with so many of these ones nowadays. Your best chance is probably the first inning before they've settled in, before they've kind of found their slot. Bieber Cole, which we'll talk about in a little bit. The Yanks, got a couple guys on Bieber in the first, and it was like, are we going to strike now? And I think Glass, kind of the same thing. Once they settle in, they're going to be able to put the ball where they want, and that's when you're having a bad time.
He also struck out 4 in that first inning. There was a wild pitch.
Yeah, he struck out 4.
That didn't hurt him at all. It came after the runs, but that's pretty funny.
Yeah, I know the Farm to Fame crew's talking about it, but Patino gets the call. He was the piece that came over in the Snell trade. He was the arm they got. So He had a nice debut, I think 2.2 shutty in relief. So interested to see if they stretch him out and maybe start adding him to that follower role or whatever it'll be. Because he's supposed to be super talented, really young and all that jazz. Yarbrough still coming out of the pen is so ridiculous. Hate you, Rays.
It is ridiculous. It makes me mad.
Yeah.
And like the Rays fans are the Rays fans are just blinded by what's happening. And they'll just be like, he's better and he starts in the second inning. Like, that's not a fucking thing. Yeah. That's not a thing.
I wonder how he feels.
Like, no long man that goes 6 innings is better. Well, they're avoiding the top of the order. Look, he pitches to him the next time. It's not a real thing. Let him start. Do you want to know how he feels about it? Do you want like when we interview him and he asks, or when the interview stops and we ask?
I don't want to know for real.
I'd bet he feels it's bullshit.
I know where I'd place my money.
Yeah.
Can he? I think one thing he would talk about is arbitration and.
Yeah, he lost his arbitration case because of it.
Yeah. Can he get wins in that role?
He can, but he can't get games started, and he can't be like how arbitration is comps. So he got comped compared to first-year starters, even though he'd been a main pitcher for like 3 seasons. So his comps hurt him because he gets comped to first-year starters last year, and now he's not even
first-year starter.
Yeah. Like he's going 5 innings every time.
It's another salary suppression type thing that teams can do. Like I firmly believe that there are some pitchers that maybe, or some rotations that need to be set up that way. But I think like the whole shortening starting pitchers workload, I don't think is injury related. I think it's more of like, man, if we can get these guys and they only throw 150 innings a year, like we probably have to pay him less.
Well, if you're doing like an opener and a bulk guy, like a 2-inning guy and a 3-inning guy, or a 1-inning guy and a 3-inning guy to get you that start, he's going 60. He's going 6 innings, 5 innings.
Yeah. 5.2 shut.
Like 5.2 shutout innings. So it's nothing but manipulation. And the Rays want to say, and there's strategy involved for sure, but
I want to know what that is, because this is the Rays. We do have. I think we respect the decisions they make most of the time.
Well, they're good for winning games. They're bad for like.
I mean, what they're saying is you miss the. You're going to miss the top 3-4 hitters in the lineup, but you're normally the best 3-4 hitters in the lineup. So Yarbrough comes in after that. He sees them once or twice after if he's cruising, or you're ready to go the pin by then. So there's a strategy. He's like the only, like they used to do this with other dudes.
Chirinos, but he's hurt.
Now he's kind of their guy, which is ridiculous, especially because their pitching staff isn't as deep as it has been in the past years with Snell and Morton. But it also could be a buildup. Like I saw Nick in the chat right now just said, like, Patino, Honeywell, Glasnow, Yarbrough, and another guy should be their starting rotation. Well, Honeywell's gone through the injury circuit. Patino's super young, and they're still figuring it out. So I think the Rays, and like a lot of other teams, are going to build up towards something at the end of the year that ideally will be their playoff plan. But Yarbrough should be a starting pitcher in this league.
They used Honeywell. They used the Honeywell as the opener, and he gave up 300 runs. Yeah. But more importantly, Yarbrough's done enough to just be a starter.
Be a starting pitcher in Major League Baseball.
Yes.
Sounded like the Godfather there.
Know a team everyone got their tweets off about this morning, Trev?
Who's that?
You're wearing their hoodie. Your Kansas City Royals. Best record in the American League, win percentage-wise right now. They get a little sweep. It's good vibes, man. Witt's doing it. Carlos Santana got hot a little bit. And, again, the dirty secret when we talked about Los Gigantes, they're pitching. Danny Duffy's getting his pitch ninja on. Ooh. Like that.
Duffy's got the top 5 lowest ERA in baseball out of guys that have started 4 starts. Like really, really good.
He looks gross. Looks El Grosso, man.
Hey, someone asked this. When you say Los Hibidos Herman, what?
It's not right.
Like, what's that middle word? Someone asked. What's the middle word? Jake says.
Oh, Hibido. I mean, it's not right. It's a word I made up.
Oh.
It's like around what it should be. It's like Jugador is supposed to be like sports team or something like that.
Well, Gentes?
No, I mean, that's around Giants. It's my thing. I got it. Reach out. DM me.
I thought you were saying an actual word there.
I mean, Gigantes is Giants.
I know that.
Yeah.
The middle word, I thought.
I think it's supposed to be Jugador or something. We've done this before.
Anything else in the American League we need to talk about? The Royals been looking good. Duffy's been good.
In Trev's book.
Astros came back with a good series.
Yeah, that was.
They had Kent Emmanuel comes in. That's pretty impressive. Debut coming in.
We'll talk about that
Obviously
later.
didn't know he was going to. And we can move on from that.
Astros look good. I think last episode, Trev, I said there was only like 2 teams in the American League with a record above 500. It was 2 or 3. We had 6 now. Jake also said that he thought the bats were like fully coming back, and I think we got that in a big way this weekend. There was a lot of offensive power.
Do you guys see what the league-wide OPS is right now?
What is it? Because it was really bad.
700.
Yeah, it was in the 6s a little bit ago. Yeah, so it's
really
coming
bad.
back. Coming back.
Can we get some snaps for the A's? Nice win streak. Way to go. You were horrible. 1-6, 1-7.
Yeah.
And then you reeled off 13 in a row. That's why you can't take a week and say this is that, because something like that can happen. So good for them.
Bieber versus Cole was a pitcher's duel. That was like, everyone was talking. It got like promoted, and then it actually came to. Very rare that kind of actually happens, but they were both dealing in that game. Two of the American League best starters. So I like that.
Our Yanks showed some signs of life that Trev alluded to. All thanks to Rugi Odor. No, they were just playing bad baseball, man. It's why that first inning Thursday clip was as popular as it was. Everyone had heard that the Yankees and the Yankees fan base was complaining, and then they saw that, and they were like, oh, you guys weren't messing around. But they started playing a good brand of baseball, which was fun to see. They get 3 out of 4. They're heading to Baltimore and Detroit. So in Yankees land, we're starting to get the good juju going. It looks like Trevor Plouffe, Stanford, you have a question in the back.
How are the Mariners doing it? I'm just a serious question. I'm looking at the overall team numbers. OPS plus sitting at 97, which is exactly league average right now. ERA plus, they're sitting at 104, and league average is 103. So they've just been average, but their record has been much better than that. Is there something I'm missing? Is the defense playing a factor? Is it just them matching up against teams that aren't playing well? I'm genuinely curious. I haven't watched a lot of their baseball.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean,
chat.
What's their record? Just a little over 500?
Bullpen.
13-9. 13-9. Yeah, I mean,
Mariners bullpen has allowed 4 earned runs in 46.2 innings since 4-11, a .77 ERA. And Kendall, former teammate, Kendall Graveman's been a stud. Thank you, Ben, for that.
Like that
in the chat.
Yeah, Montero, Vest, Sadler, Misowitz, LJ Newsom. Bang.
I'm not saying like go ahead and like count on the regression coming, but when you're just looking at all that, you can probably count.
Well,
on
I
the
think
regression
Mariners
coming.
fans understand that. They were started like 15-3 a couple years ago. My dude Kikuchi hasn't been pitching well. I think the bounce back season is not too much possible anymore. Maybe. Only been 1 month.
They're fun to watch though. These guys, I just said I haven't seen a ton of it, but the stuff that I have seen from them, which I guess is mostly highlights, they are fun to watch.
Highlights are usually pretty good.
Kyle Lewis just came back. Stay in the wild card by the time you call Kelnick up. Let's have some fun.
Yeah. Will Vest is the name. He made his debut this year. He's been nasty in his 10 appearances. 1.54 ERA. Only 2 earned runs in 10 appearances. So when are they using him?
What's funny
They're not
is
using him in high leverage, really.
We when I was in Oakland, Kendall Graveman was there as a starter, and he's one of those guys we always say, like, how does this guy get hit? Like, his stuff is nasty, and he got banged around. But I guess he's found his calling. Like he's been doing really well in the bullpen. Right now, his numbers are 7 games, 8 innings pitched. He's allowed 1 hit, no runs, 10 strikeouts. That's really good.
That's MLB right now. If you got some stuff or if you got that grossness in you, now we can use the cameras, figure out why it's gross, and figure out how to either have you located or what works. And
I want to talk about that a little bit actually, because Eno has put out some good stuff. We love Eno on this pod. My goodness. He's talking about how teams need to change the mindset, because you can develop the stuff now.
Mm-hmm.
Like you can develop velo, you can develop stuff, but control you need to draft. He's like, teams will be better off drafting people that are accurate and have control, and then coaching their stuff up. It's too hard to go the other way.
That's pretty.
I thought that was really
pretty interesting. Huh. Well, it's probably case by case, because you look at guys like those tall motherfuckers. Maybe you put a height limit on that. If he's under 6'4", you draft control, you build up speed. If he's over 6'4", you draft speed and then you build control. Because those guys just don't know how to use guys don't know how to use their body yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, what is that? Why do tall people? Why are they so awkward? I don't understand.
Just a lot of moving parts.
It's more to do.
Why is it so hard to be tall?
They grow, man. I mean,
hate it.
What the fuck?
I've been the same height for a while now, so I got a lot more practice. I don't know.
Maybe.
I would draft all not max effort guys. So then if they're not good starting pitchers, you kick them into the bullpen and say, throw your hardest, do your best.
Ramp it up back there?
Yeah.
Makes sense.
I don't know. That's why I'm not a GM.
Yet. I mean, once you go to sports management worldwide, you can
that's true.
Do anything you want.
Yeah, that might be good for me.
Yeah? Oh, my God. Jake takes the 8-week class, comes out such a cockhead.
Cashman to Storielli. People are talking.
Actually, guys.
I mean, look, the GM of the Angels is like, was a bat boy, then a club.
Cashman was younger than Jake is now when he got the job.
And he didn't even get that class, so.
No. Well, maybe.
We don't know.
We don't know.
When did he become the GM?
He was 30 years old, 1998.
Okay, so he was there right as he had
Am I wrong?
several Hall of Fame.
It's around there. I'm it's tough with the fake titles, real titles. I think he got named GM in 98.
Yeah, I think it's 98.
He was with the Yankees in 86. Watson was there through 95. Then I think there's some Midler years. Okay, cool.
But
Yankees.
Cashman started as like an intern. I think his dad was buddies with Steinbrenner from racehorsing community in Kentucky. And that's how he got us in.
That it.
Dustin Morse, is he going to be the GM of the Twins one day? Our guy, Dusty.
We're asking.
People are
I have
saying
no idea.
Dusty and Jake Storiale.
Dude, Dusty's such a funny name.
Good content.
His name's Dustin, I'm guessing?
Dustin.
Dusty. That's awesome. All right, Jake, you got the interleague. What happened? Can you tell us?
A huge 3-gamer between Cole Tucker's Pirates and Trevor Plouffe's Twins. This series was off the map, man. J Happ, game 1. Are you kidding me? No hitter into the 8th. The Happer, 70% fastballs, 90 miles per hour. It's unhittable. Love me some J Happ. Astudillo and Cave with the home runs in that one. Love me a Jake and love me a guy that's built like Jake. Cahill in game 2 for the Pirates. 6 innings pitched, 1 earned run. Kevin Newman hits a homer. Perez over from the Rays. And then the Pirates take game 3, 6-2 as well. These Pirates are rolling. Reynolds getting going. He's supposed to be a part of the future of that team. Polanco's hitting a little bit, 3 hits and a homer. How about it, babe? The Pirates, after taking 2 out of 3 from the Twinkies, they are back up to 500. And the Twins hit the red button in Minnesota. Back to you guys in the booth.
Wow.
Trev, are they hitting that red button?
it's not fun right now. I follow a lot of Twins people on social media members, bloggers, everyone you can think of, and it's pretty bleak out there. It's pretty grim on Twins Twitter right now. So I
What's the overall problem?
Column A.
Yeah, he's the big one.
It's been really tough. I think that is probably the thing that's worn on them the most. Like losing some of those games can bring you into a kind of a cycle like that. And then it's these series like this. Like you got to freaking beat the Pirates, man.
I think I read a stat that this is the Twins' worst start since 2016.
I was a part of that, yeah. Oh. And that's when we went 0-6 to start the year, and that hurts.
Time. It's just a bad
It's
time.
really bad, yeah. It's not fun. I'm actually going there. I'll be in Minnesota in June. Hopefully things will turn around by the time I get there. If not, I mean, are they going to be asking me to get back on the field? I don't know. I don't want it.
That's dangerous. You've been doing your gym workouts too and stuff. If they're like, "Hey, Trev, like,
no, I'm just kidding. I'm such a bad baseball
let's see
player
you swing
right
it
now.
a little bit."
No, it's not going to happen.
They called up Kirilov.
Yeah,
that's good.
It's bleak. It's bleak in Minnesota, and I kind of love when Minnesota sports teams like have bad stretches because man, these guys they're just like, well, that's what being a Minnesota sports fan's all about. It's you get a little bit of good, but a lot of bad, and like they're just kind of used to it right now. And it's like there's almost comfort for them, I think, in where they're at right.
I think
when things start going too good, people freak out.
Everywhere besides Boston and LA has that same exact sentence.
There's organizations that have winning franchises,
but as
like
a
the
city,
Steelers, like Cardinals, things like that. But yeah,
as a city, yeah,
they're 2-11 in their last 13.
That's not good.
That's bad times, man. The Minnesota Twins.
How about your dude Hap? He threw one changeup.
So hot.
Which makes me laugh. Just threw one of them. It's like, whatever.
Just pumping heaters, man. He's Lance Lynn light, literally.
Actually, have you seen his beard? It doesn't look great.
Really? I mean, I'm not good in the beard world. I know that, but I like it on him.
It looks like it was painted on. Because it's like so spotchy. I don't know. Yeah, no. He looks like a non-beard guy to me. Trying to grow a beard.
He's got intense eyes as well.
Passionate lover.
One changeup.
Mitch Garver's been having a tough time. He kind of looks lost up there. I think I'm going to send in a sequence tape that we have done. Add sequence.
You know what? It's just too gray for me now. Because here I like it.
Wow.
Yeah. Wow. No, I'm going to run into a big issue in a couple years now when my gray spot overtakes it and then my beard's fully gray in like 2 to 3 years. Because then you really look. People already think I'm way older than I am. Then I'm going to really look old. So maybe I'll just lose some weight before my beard goes gray. That'll be
lose some weight, dye the beard, bingo bango.
I'm not dyeing my beard.
I dyed it once or twice.
I dyed my hair twice, and then like that was a lot.
You didn't hate it.
You did do that, didn't
What's
you?
that?
You liked it.
It went quickly back to gray.
I did like it because I hate my gray hair, but it's like a lot.
Money,
it's
you
like
have someone do it for you.
It's like a lot of
Tuesdays.
a lot of maintenance.
Guy named Dale.
Dale
Scott.
My personal stylist.
Yeah.
He rocks the gray. He looks great.
Looks great. Miss when he used to hit on Trevor on Twitter.
He still does.
Those were the best days.
He does. He does do that.
Good job, Pirates.
11-11.
What was their over-under? Because they're getting close to it. It wasn't very high.
Yeah, what was their over-under?
It was like 59
It was like seriously like
or
60.
something. It was low.
That's pretty funny. Could they hit it? It's 58. So they're 11 wins. They got 58 was their over-under.
Season's going to hit its stride soon. And I think a lot of these teams we're talking about there will be a different story in a month.
Yes, and we'll be here to tell you about it. Let's move on to the individual performances, which is brought to you by DraftKings. If you play fantasy baseball, perk up. Listen to some names. If you're streaming, we're going to tell you who's hot, who's not. You should avoid these guys or you should grab them. If you want to bet the JOMBOY special at DraftKings Sportsbook, you can do that. They've been running Kuipers, some other stuff. You just go to the like DraftKings promotions, and then it's the JOMBOY specials. So sign up for DraftKings, either the Sportsbook or the fantasy app. When you do, use code JOMBOY. That's how you know that we sent you. They also have some crazy deal, probably. Is this draft for the draft? They got an NFL draft here.
Oh, those are the best.
A chance to turn $1 into $100 in free bets if a quarterback is drafted first overall on Thursday night.
Okay. I mean, that's the freest money they've given out.
First overall. Did you hear that stat recently that someone said? Well, this is a baseball podcast, that only 2 quarterbacks drafted in the first 3 picks have ever won a Super Bowl.
It's skewed because it's picked one with the team they were drafted by.
Yes.
So, like, Eli was technically drafted by the Chargers.
But they traded for him.
Yeah.
That's a good one. But other people that got drafted and then got traded like 2 or 3 years later then win, like that makes sense.
Yeah.
Don't draft quarterbacks. But if one gets drafted in the first round, you win. Download the top-rated DraftKings Sportsbook app now and use code JOMBOY when you sign up for a chance to turn $1 into $100 in free bets. That's right. DraftKings Sportsbook is letting you turn $1 into $100 in free bets if a quarterback is selected first overall this Thursday night. Don't forget, enter code JOMBOY during sign-up. Only at DraftKings Sportsbook. Must be 21 or older. New Jersey, Indiana, or West Virginia only. New customers only. Winnings paid out in free bets. Restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or in Indiana, 1-800-9.
With it real good.
Can I stay on football? One question.
Yeah.
One question. Is being a good quarterback harder than being a good hitter? Like we always say, hitting is the hardest thing to do in sports.
Yeah.
But like, there's only like 4 or 5 good quarterbacks.
Being a good shortstop defensively and offensively is the same as being a good quarterback. We've come to that conclusion.
I love that you guys have had that conversation, because that is, man. I'm blessed the Seahawks have Russ, and they were talking about getting rid of him. Like they're talking like weird stuff in Seahawks land, and if they do, I don't know what I'm gonna do.
How else are you blessed?
Girth. All right, standout performances.
Standout performance.
I
hear Jake.
Trev, I did this yesterday, or I did this last episode. It's an illegal move, and I'm doing it again.
I can't believe you're doubling down.
I'm doubling down again. There's a pattern here. It makes sense again. I'm going Madison Bumgarner and Zach Gallen. They combined on the same day for 14 innings of 1-hit ball. MadBum gets the no-hitter. Zach Gallen pitched before him, set the path. And his one hit was a bloop shot. So, Braves, what are you doing? But really good for both these guys. Zach Gallen had a little setback to the season, a little injury in spring. MadBum just had been awful, like absolutely awful in his first 4 starts. So, really, I mean, incredible day to be a Diamondbacks fan. And horrible to be a Braves fan. 7 innings pitched, 7 Ks, 0 hits, 0 walks for MadBum. It was 1 error that led to it. He faced the minimum because he got a double play right after the error. So he did face the minimum, which is cool. And then Zach Gallen, 7 innings pitched, 0 earned runs, 6 Ks. And it's right after each other. It's not one day, then the next day. Like, if you're a diehard Braves fan and you watched all 14 innings, oh, man. You know how draining that must be? That was awful. But congratulations to Zach Gallen and MadBum. Maybe the single best day in Diamondbacks pitching history statistically. I don't know if you'll find more innings and less hits in a single day of Diamondbacks baseball. Right? Can't. It's got to be the most innings pitched with the least amount of hits allowed in Diamondbacks history. Has to be.
I like that.
I could see that. We're crediting MadBum with a no-hitter, right? Like he threw.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he would have got a 9-inning one because he had 98 pitches, but maybe he would have. But also, like, if you're gonna credit it as a complete game in the book, which I don't think you should. Well, I don't care, but you can't do complete game, not a no-hitter. It's either it's not a complete game, whatever. It's a complete game no-hitter. He didn't choose the circumstances.
Yeah, that's kind of where I landed. I'll go through my whole process real quick. At first, I was like, wow, MLB got in front of this one and nipped it in the butt. Like the day they announced 7-inning games, they said, perfect game or no hitter won't count, and to kind of end the conversation. And it was like, okay, yeah, I kind of get that because it's 7 innings. Baseball's 9 innings. I get it. And then, you see MadBum do it and you're like, well, fun exists. I like that. But then, I saw everyone else on the internet that was doing this was the game he was given. He was given a 7-inning game. It's not like they played 2 more innings, or he could have even said, let's play 2 more innings. Like, he was given a 7-inning game, and he threw a no-hitter. So I almost there was an error. That was the only Ahmed threw one away. So I'm almost happy it wasn't a perfect game, because I think if it was a perfect game, I think people would be a lot louder. Like, I already think the internet stopped caring about it a little bit. But yeah, I mean, Zach Gallen's one-hitter goes down as complete game one-hitter, and it's in history with all the other one-hitters.
Yeah.
But they want to exclude MadBum's on. I think they're going to figure this one out. I think baseball's smart enough to find the easy win here and just do it. And it's hilarious that it's MadBum.
Did you hear his post-game, Trev?
I did hear it. It's pretty funny.
I didn't know that he had humor in his bones, or lightheartedness is a better way to put it. He's probably funny, but lightheartedness,
Well, dude, he's probably super stoked. He's been so bad. He had a really good game. He was like, this is awesome.
it's pretty good.
You remember what that feeling
Should
was
we
like?
play it for anyone? Maybe some listeners haven't heard it.
Sure. By the way, MadBum did say he would have thrown a no-hitter.
Well, you should.
So, take that for what it's worth.
All right, here's his post
Another
game.
30 bullets in there.
I just want to. I want to say 2 things. Then I'm going to go celebrate with the guys. I want to thank these shadows in Atlanta. They helped me out a good bit. That's pretty awesome. And I want to thank Rob Manfred for making these 7-inning games.
All right.
Then he takes the headphone off and leaves. That was he didn't let them ask a single question.
Power play.
Do you, as a hitter, Trev, do you like him thanking the shadows? Because it's kind of like, tipping the hat, I had some extra help here.
It's funny. Yeah, I mean, it's funny because you do get pissed when there is shadows as a hitter. The pitchers are benefiting from it. But, good for him. I think that probably was a lot of weight lifted off his shoulders, like we've been talking about. Like, I think he does care. He's been pitching poorly, and he doesn't want to do that.
Oh, man.
Will this propel him to kind of maybe did he find anything out, or was it just the shadows? We're going to have to see next time he starts.
Yeah, I'm monitoring it. Good for him. Jake and I, we were recording the Weekly Dumb this morning. We stumbled into a joke, I guess, or a thought that cracks me up. And it was MadBum petting his horses when he came home at night and telling them, we got a no-hitter tonight, boys. I did it.
I'm back.
You proud of Dad? Just petting his horses.
Beautiful.
I like that visual.
I bet money it happened.
It's beautiful. It's beautiful. And Jim, I
Sunsets behind him. It's like, Daddy did it tonight, boys.
I almost made you split up this award because Zach Gallen deserves more love, man. I mean, I'm
the number one give Zach Gallen love guy.
The Brave side of this is kind of messy. Braves, bad time in Atlanta right now. But Zach Gallen is literally off to one of the best starts to a starting pitching career. He had his streak. I think it ended last year where his 3 runs or less in his first 23 career starts or whatever it ended at. I mean, just if this Wednesday we decided to do our Talkin' Baseball episode and we did best young starting pitchers, we would say so many names before we get to Zach Gallen, and we really shouldn't. We'd Walker Buehler and, we love Jack, and, Fried, though, he's lefty. And we would go through all these names, and then we'd finally mention Zach Gallen where, man, could you imagine if he did what he's done, 30 games started, a 2.72 ERA up until this point of his career. If he did that in Boston or Chicago or LA or New York, I mean, we would be nuts about this dude. So more Zach Gallen.
More Zach Gallen. More Zach Gallen. More Zach Gallen. Note.
Are we going to start calling them Jake's D-backs? And Jake's Rocks are gone. You don't care about the Rockies anymore.
No,
You're
it's actually our D-backs.
The Rockies.
They're the whole companies. They're kind of the team of JOMBOY. Well, there's a couple teams.
The Rockies.
We have a meeting with them, Trav. They love us.
The Rockies kind of got relegated, basically. And so, yeah, it's Jake's D-backs.
Well, here's the thing. Rockies and the D-backs, both dark spots for me. I've been
Daddy's D-backs.
been very forthcoming with this.
Yeah.
I'm instead of trying to pay attention to both. I'm just blocking the Rockies out. They're not going to get
Done.
any Tatís. I'll tune in. He's fun. And then I'm gonna learn about the Diamondbacks.
It's beautiful.
I'll learn real hard. Jake, Trev goes next. Who is your standout performance, Trev?
I want to talk about Fernando Tatís Jr., what he did in prime time. You got go back to 2 games, 3 for 5, 2 home runs, 2 for 5, 2 home runs. Hits another one, 5 home runs in a 3-game stint, 3-game set, 3-game. I don't know what I'm supposed to say right there. Anyways, the reason I want to give him this award is because he's had to make an adjustment with his swing that might have really hurt a normal person, but he's a superhero, so it didn't hurt him. We all saw him sublux his shoulder on April 6th. You know, he has that really violent swing, and he lets go with one hand, and that's basically what happened. He let go too far, and his shoulder couldn't hold it in anymore, and it came out. So if you've been watching him hit, it's been all 2-handed follow-throughs, and that is, it might seem easy to do that, and some guys do both, but to go exclusively one way, go 2 hands, and I think he did it on accident. One pitch when I was watching last night, he actually let go of the bat, but I could tell he was trying not to. So to be able to make that adjustment and then kind of, the first couple games that he came back, he did that. He subluxed on April 5th, came back on like the 16th, I believe, and had a few 0-for games there. But in my opinion, he was just working through that. Like it's a totally different type of swing that you have when you're going one-handed and exclusively 2-handed now. And he came into Dodger Stadium and just did it, man. And his swings have been so good. It's just really cool to see him come back that quickly. We thought this might be like a season-ending injury, the way it looked. And he took like I think the limited amount of time, the least amount of time on the IL, came back and has looked good. I mean, we always talk about, he's the most electric player in baseball. He's a wow guy, and he's doing it now and having to make an adjustment in prime time. It's awesome to see.
Yeah, I mean, 5 home runs in 3 games is crazy. 7 hits, 5 homers in 3 games. So,
yeah, but
most people, like when you do it as the swing, what I'm talking about, like
pitchers.
yeah, who'd he hit him off of though? Kershaw, Bauer, May.
If you're a guy, for anybody listening there, if you're a person who played baseball and you let go of the bat and had a one-handed follow through, go ahead and try to keep 2 hands on the bat. It's going to feel very awkward for you. I tried to do it a little bit towards the end of my career. It really feels like you're cutting your swing off. It's really hard to get extension when you're not used to doing it. But he's just so good that he's just figured out a way to do it.
Do you think it has?
Really
do you think it has any effect on pulling it more or going oppo more?
Yes.
Which
yes,
way?
I do. I mean, he's
pulling the ball more this year than his career averages so far. Very small, but his whole career is kind of small sample size.
I think he'll pull the ball like better, like the right way with the 2-handed swing. He's really forcing himself to stay inside the ball with it. So I think we're eventually going to see his spray chart kind of move more towards the center of the field. I know you said it's been towards left field. I think as he gets really comfortable with this 2-handed follow through, we're going to see him spray the ball like throughout the field more. But he's pulling the ball the right way because it really does force you to like try to stay through the ball. So it's been really impressive. I was curious to see how he would handle that. And the first couple games, not so great. And then he comes into LA and just does his thing. So
do you know his total hit numbers? I'm learning this for the first time. I knew it was crazy, but he doesn't have an oppo hit yet. He has 13 hits, 7 are home runs, 5 are singles.
I mean, dude, he didn't.
1 is a double.
He hadn't done too much heading into this weekend. He was hurt, and then a 5-homer weekend will do it for you.
14 hits, 1 double, 7 home runs. Half of his hits are home runs.
I mean, that one Bauer slider he hit was like outside of the zone or whatever it was, and he got full extension.
He peaked. A little cutter, yeah.
Controversy.
Hot.
It's just impressive to me to be able to do that. I think that people need to know how hard that is to make an adjustment like that and then come back and still kind of look like the guy that we're used to seeing.
It's true. Jake, who is your standout performance? Good standout performance, Trev.
Trevor.
Five homers, 3 games.
Trevor,
Jesus
dude.
Christ.
Bang up job, man.
He should start making some plays at short.
Good read by you. Finding this guy. I am going with a guy who I share a lot with.
Ooh.
Mostly his abbreviated name is my name. Jacob deGrom, I think I game one the other week. I think I game one when he was pitching at Coors and he racked up a casual 14er. He came back and he said that was boring. I gave up some unearned runs too. Why don't I take it out of the boys' hands a little bit? How about 9 innings shutty? Not too bad. 15 Ks. 2 hits, and in that game, I believe he also had 2 hits. Everyone's talking about this Ohtani guy. Give me deGrom. It's just the reason I think you lads didn't pick him is because it's kind of the same thing. Like, we've been so blinded the past 4 years now by how incredible this is. He's given up 1 earned run this year. 29 innings. 50 strikeouts. He's led baseball in strikeouts the past 3 years now, if you include this year. The guy's unreal. By the way, pitchers can't hit, but he is 6 for 11 this season. The former shortstop.
I didn't see his hits. What were they?
I mean, he's got 1 double on the year. He's dinking and dunking, but he's hitting. So I don't know, man. It's weird that this is boring to talk about. At the same time, it's so electric when you watch it. I know our guy Matty Mass went to the game, tweeted out a funny pic about me and Jimmy's Mets history. But he was like, yeah, dude, it was kind of cool, like going there and just rooting for the Mets and deGrom. And I was like, yeah, that's what we used to do that on Harvey Day. So it used to be really cool. But deGrom is doing it to a whole different level, a Hall of Fame level. Every time deGrom has a nasty start, Trev's guy, Jeff Passan, is letting you read his article about it. The guy's a monster. He's kind of like broken the game.
It's kind of funny when I'm watching him hit right now. And we did this with Tristan McKenzie, but this is way different. But it just doesn't – it's just funny that, like, you can tell the body type of a pitcher or hitter just more when you see them in a box.
Like that – he's just a little far away from the plate there.
Standing more upright. Like that stupid word hitterish.
Yeah.
Like he looks hitterish. Like you could just look at this and be like, that guy doesn't look hitterish. But goes the other way. A little flare shot. That was one of them. So have they won more DeGrom games than they've lost now?
His record is 2-1. They lost the first 2. They've won the next 2. So hey, how about it?
There you go.
How about 14 plus Ks in your last 3 starts? Jim, how nasty was Garrett Cole on Saturday versus the Indians?
Second half of the game, it was crazy.
Pretty nasty. 7 innings, 11 Ks. I mean, 14, 14, 15. Stupid, man.
I don't
know. He's really good.
I love that you're giving deGrom some love. Obviously, he deserves it. And you talk about how we don't talk about it enough because he just does it all the time. The Kershaw effect is he's the guy. Like people talk about deGrom, he's the best pitcher ever. He's a Hall of Famer. Kershaw's been doing what deGrom is doing even better for 7 more years. I feel like people I live in LA and I don't think of Kershaw in the same way I think of deGrom. And I don't know why that is.
Trev, can we get an unplug replug?
You went robot on us.
Oh, robot Trev. I'll say what Trev was about to say. And, Jake's underappreciated, too. Like Kershaw is kind of the Jake effect. And I like that you were heading there, man. You didn't have to do that, but you did that.
No, I mean, Foolish Baseball has tweeted out, like, what would deGrom have to do to have a better final career than Kershaw, and it's almost like
It's impossible.
It's impossible. Because they're the same age, and you don't think about that. You think he's younger.
Yeah.
Check.
Yeah, I mean, Kershaw's best stretch, probably 2013 through 2016 area. Yeah, I mean, it's a very similar ERA plus to what DeGrom's doing. DeGrom's got the punchies a little more and a little more pizzazz, if we're being honest. But no, I mean, Clayton, he does art, man.
DeGrom's ERA plus right now in the season so far is 1,238.
Yeah.
Meaning he's 1,138% better than the average pitcher.
True.
1,138%er.
I'm done giving him standout because it doesn't even stand out anymore.
Yeah.
Normal DeGrom start.
Normal DeGrom.
9 innings pitched.
The only thing
15
that stood
Ks.
out here is the 2 hits, to be honest.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, yeah, cool. All right, let's get negative.
Let's get negative. Negative.
Womp,
Positive.
womp, womp.
Stopwatch.
Stopwatch. I thought I saved the sound bite last time, but I guess I didn't. The soundboard.
Check up your butt.
No, I didn't. Wait. Checking.
Checking.
Stopwatch. What you got, Beavers?
Well, we're starting off with a man very close to my heart. Rhys Hoskins this week, 4 for 13, 3 dingers, 6 ribbies, and a walk.
Shame to flame.
God, Breeze,
It's
one of my favorite swings.
It's Trevor.
Oh,
Don't
my bad.
don't speak
That's
for
my bad.
don't speak for
Don't
Trevor.
do that.
Little brain.
And our guy Ian Happ
Mm.
was 1 for 10 coming into last week, 1 for 7 this week.
It only played 2 games.
Only played 2 games, 2 walks.
We're still gonna keep him on, and we're still gonna watch
watching.
him, and we're gonna move past it quickly.
Shout out sequence episode coming out tomorrow, second AB, and a bat against Blake Trinan. Ian, go watch that. Go taste yourself a little bit.
Power sinker.
Frankie Lindor, we almost took him off because one of his 3 hits last week was a homer. This week, 3 hits again and 13 ABs, 3 Ks.
Yeah, no, he's still on. I mean, he had
Lindor.
he had no walks, he had no extra base hits. He just had 1 hit in each game, so he's very much still on.
Max Muncy, 1 for 9, 8 walks. Jeez,
Crazy.
a ribby.
Yeah, man, what's going on? Is he the Joey? Is he?
He loves it.
Can we do like Max Muncy watch now that MadBum's off MadBum watch, or unless MadBum's still on? Because
I still want to watch MadBum.
like 556 on base percentage.
I think he's just off, and it just sucks. I mean, this is my walk thing yesterday. Like, he got a 2-0 pitch right down the middle, and just couldn't have been less interested.
Yeah, not gonna swing 2-0, but
Because he
also then
walks.
Pomerantz got him out 1-2-3 through 3 fastballs in the zone, or I don't know if
Nasty
they're all
lefty
fastballs.
on lefty. That's tough.
But still, I mean, came into the zone, so you still got to hit.
I had like a shower thought about Muncy this morning. I was like, he is always doing way better and way worse than you think, and I think this is why, because he just walks all the time. When he gets hits, they're usually for power too.
Well, Noisy's the new Muncy, and he made his debut. Remember we said? Yeah.
You were thinking about Max Muncy in the shower?
Yeah, I mean
He
that's
naked?
that part's normal. Just I had
No,
that
he
thought
doesn't-
about him this morning.
He's a never nude,
Yeah.
Trev.
George.
Mhm.
He,
Yeah,
he
there's
wears
dozens
board
of
shorts,
us.
yeah.
Yeah.
Actually,
Yeah.
jorts and
It's actually a
Denim
beanie. It's actually
jacket.
just like a beanie and a tube sock.
What else do you
And
think
it is
about
not
Max Muncy in
fully-
the shower? Was there other thoughts, BBD?
yeah.
Oh, plenty, but
Yeah.
that's its own show that I do.
Yeah.
Could the shower head hold me?
Manny Machado, 4 for 18, 2 ribbies, 5 Ks. So for 7 the week before.
Still on. Power
Still
me
on.
the Philly.
Okay,
Stays.
still on. I mean, there was a very clutch hit though, so I think Padres fans
Is
were like,
everybody like staying?
yeah, Ozuna's staying. Sorry.
Zuna's 0 for, yeah.
Ozuna stays.
Schwarber stays 2 for 12, unless you don't care. But
Ooh, that's interesting. No, I do care. It's
You do?
still
Schwarber,
April.
we care.
It's on a new team. Don't like him
God.
looking that uni, but
Gary Sanchez, he stays.
Will Smith, there's an
Hey.
argument. 3 for 7, and 2 of the 3 are doubles.
Yeah, Will Smith,
You
yeah.
can get him off there.
429 batting average, 556 on base. He's off.
And Zach Plesac did not play since we put him on, so he can't come.
I miss Gary.
Yeah, so Gary's staying. He did have a good on-base percentage in the 3 games or 2 games that he played. He's still seeing the ball well. He's just not getting hits anymore.
I was going to put out a series of tweets about what I'm seeing. I thought I might save it for a sequence episode. Essentially, the same thing is happening with him. He's starting a little late, and then everything speeds up after that. So he is swinging at good pitches, but his barrel location is not there, like his barrel accuracy. So he's getting these heaters, and he's just a little late, just a tiny bit, man. So hopefully he figures that out.
I'd like it if he did.
Yeah.
All right, we got some players that are getting added.
Before we do that, Jeff Bridich resigned from the Rockies GM job.
No.
Bridich. He gone.
You say why?
Wait, that's fucked up.
Yeah, Kyle sent it to us in our Talking Baseball.
A couple people slacked me, and I got in the passing tweet.
Why?
Because he did bad at his job.
But the owners don't.
He's saving his own face.
Yeah. It's like late to do that. Like you were pretty much like pot committed. Like if you like resign before being forced to do that trade, not after.
Right.
You know, if you're like not on board and you want to resign because you don't like the way the ownership is making you run the team or whatever, and you think it's going to blacken your name as a GM, do it before you make the Arenado trade, which was awful. Not after. It's kind of like,
wait, was he against the Arenado trade? I thought he was like the guy that ran him out of town.
No idea. Either that's what I'm trying to say. It's weird. Like I thought him and the owners were kind of doing the same bullshit together. And now if you find out like the owners want him out or he wanted out, like, well, who are we mad at then? Both still?
Yeah.
Sounds to me like the owners are just scapegoating him. Not even though he's probably deserved of getting his job taken away from him. Like they can just put a face on it. Then.
Yeah, I guess they could have also given him we're gonna fire you,
so resign.
Resign.
But even then, like firing him to put a face on it, like it's still from the top.
Yeah.
Like I don't know. They don't want him in charge of the trade deadline, but it's the top stuff.
Everything
you're saying.
Yeah, I guess I'll read a bunch of. I don't know anything.
Might be a big part of Wednesday's episode.
Trying to wrap my head around.
We don't talk about them. We're D-backs fans.
That's true. All right.
So guys to add.
Oh, yeah.
We got a lot of players staying.
Yeah.
So.
Holy smokes.
Might not want to add many. Do I read?
Yeah.
Okay, so starting off.
Rip them.
Well, I forget how we do it now because we've talked about so many different ideas for it. Acuna, he comes back from the injury and goes 0 for 10. So I don't know what we want to do there.
Yeah, I thought we were only going to be adding 5.
Well, there's a few options there, and I thought we were settled on you guys like pick one to add, but also we kept a bunch this week, so it's a tough ask. We've got some other offers on there.
I don't fault Bo Bichette for slumping just because Carl Ravitch completely embarrassed him on national TV. I think it's
Bo Bichette is an every other series player. He went flame against the Yankees and then shame against the Rangers and then flame against whoever played last week, and now he's going shame again.
He's like, not a weekend guy.
Almost like.
Ooh, I like that.
Wow. Can we get his splits weekday versus weekend? Does Baseball Reference offer those?
I think they do.
I can at least find the days of the week.
Bo turning up
individually.
That's so funny.
Does he have his peaches down?
Can we just take all the Braves off? Because I'm over
Braves
it.
stink right
now.
now.
So I'm taking Ozuna off.
Yes.
I'm taking Acuna off.
Yes.
I'm just taking all the Braves off.
You just stink right now.
And then Schwarber and Bell. I mean, they're like,
they're the same thing. But I am interested.
I'm not
interested.
But
it's kind of once one of them's off, I don't care about either of them.
Has Schwarber been good yet? Because then it's not slump watch yet.
He had a homer.
Yeah.
Huge.
One that I saw.
His first two.
Highlight I've seen.
His first two, and then he had a good stretch he had a good series against the Diamondbacks.
He's like supposed to be a hitter.
It wasn't even that good though. No, he's just been bad. I mean, this is like we have to rid you're not good yet out of the slump watch. Otherwise, we're still gonna have like 20 people every time.
Okay.
You have to be good and then be bad.
Slump. Yeah.
I mean, is Gary off then? If we're doing tough love,
Well, Gary's been
He
good.
had 2 games. I think his stat is if you take away the first 2 games, he's been
I think he had
bad since.
it's not been extra. He had a couple games after. If you extend that to like 5, I'm with you.
Just saying, it's still
Same
early in the year. I understand the policy you're trying to set.
I mean,
but
through his first 32 plate appearances, Gary had a 406 on base percentage, 296 batting average. That's a good stretch. He's been like over.
Do I need to call Marcus up and just say, this is what I'm seeing? Can you tell Gary this for me? Like, what's going on there? It's so obvious to me. I don't understand how he's not
call Marcus.
getting him right.
Call Marcus. Do you have
If you've
Marcus's
got
number?
that ability, we would really
I don't,
appreciate
but
it.
I will. I swear to God, if someone put me in contact with him, I could work with Marcus to fix Gary.
Whose number do you have on the Yankees?
Tyler Wade, my bad.
Dixie.
Is he on the Yankees right now?
I have some, but I'd never text them to try and fix a player. Imagine if I texted Nevin. Like,
Here's
hey,
the thing about
Trev
hitting
has
coaches,
this.
man. They got 25 or I guess 12 or 13 guys they got to take care of, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
A lot.
Matt Chapman, 0 for 9, 4 walks.
He had a hot
Bichette,
streak a couple weeks ago. At the beginning of that.
Eugenio Suarez, but hasn't he not even started hitting yet?
Eugenio.
Yeah.
You guys
Like
handle this. This is
shortstop.
my least favorite part of the show because I can't. It hurts.
It's
me.
a mess. I don't know how we did it in
Mess.
past years, but like this
I
is.
think we got to chop down even more.
I thought we said only 5 can be added, and then like only 5 can stay. Like we need to chop it down a
Yeah.
lot.
We're close to that right now, and it's still messy. I think we got to reduce even more.
Okay.
Toilet flush because we don't like it. We
I
like
like
players
it.
to be good. Luis Castillo getting hit. How about that?
It's 3 starts in a row.
Not bad. Yeah, I had Corbett on here as well, but I'll take him off. He's been awful. I don't know what's going on with him.
Got paid and laid. Let's go to Fuego. I'm over those guys. They're all gonna be hot.
Dirt nasties on Fuego. That means I'm on fire, baby. Like Waco.
All right. In Fuego, we got some hitters here. Tatís, already heard about him. 5 home runs. CJ Crone. He went
Yes.
7 for 12 with 2 homers, 615 on base percentage. Colton Wong for the Brew Crew.
Yeah.
Pretty good. They're searching for offense right now.
Off the
pitching's
IL.
been off the IL. Pitching's been great. He goes 7 for 13 with a homer and 3 doubles. That's really good. Dylan Carlson, one of the few Cardinals that raked. The pitching did a lot of the work. Carlson went off 7 for 11. He's having a good season. Yon Moncada, he homered. 3 RBIs, 3 walks, 643 on base percentage on the series. And Tapia, the one dude from the Rockies that I'm paying attention to. He 462 average, 500 on base percentage, 6 for 13 with a homer.
Trade him.
Walk-off homer.
Walk-off homer, yep. So that's the hitters that had the best weekend, or the ones we wanted to highlight. There might be some that had like better in whatever stat you like. Pitchers that are hot, DeGrom, talked about him.
Boring.
Matt Boyd has a 1.64 ERA in his last 3 starts and a 1.82 on the season.
Pronating.
Actually,
Here's Dylan Bundy.
I haven't gone and looked into if he's doing anything different or just being better. I'm interested in to see what
Bundy and Boyd.
there's anything different. Yeah,
We should take a picture with them.
we should. Yu Darvish, he's got a 1.33 ERA in his last 4 starts. Trade's working out pretty well. He looks pretty good. Walker Buehler, we saw him in that same series, 2.16 ERA.
Different.
And Gibby, our best friend, he's got a 0.67 ERA in his last 4 starts, 27 innings pitched, 2 earned runs, 22 Ks. He looks great. Those are your Infuego pitchers.
Gibby gonna be traded?
Get him in
Maybe.
pinstripes. What's his salary? Does he make less?
I love
than...
that he's bounced back from that first start.
As bad of a first start as you can have to start a
As
season. and
bad
he's
as you
been
can have.
nasty.
What's
since.
his season ERA now?
We gotta look that up.
I got my Gibbies down in Georgia.
2.30.
I mean, he's doing it.
So that's awesome to start off with a 135 ERA.
He went to Lance's fastball farm, making $9.5 million this year, 7.5 next year. Pinstripes.
I don't know if they can afford that.
Pinstripes.
Well, there you go.
Willing to eat a lot of
The
Ruby.
Yankees. This seems. Someone said the Yankees can't afford something. It's such a different mindset than like I grew up. Like the Yankees could afford everything.
Anything.
Yeah, I mean, they still have the
Now,
second
the
highest
game
payroll. in all
done
of
changed.
baseball. They still spend more money than your team.
Yeah.
A lot of fans of other teams like to call the Yankees cheap, but the Yankees still outspend them. The only fans that can do that is the Dodgers. Yankees still spend
Dodgers
more
beat
than
spend.
Trav's Dodgers.
Yeah. All right, let's go to awards. I am giving out the Who Is She award.
Beautiful.
Yeah. You keep telling me that. Who is she? What?
Want to read a fun stat here? Listen to this.
Love that.
Tweeted out by Matt Birch. Shohei Ohtani will be the Angels' starting pitcher on Monday. It's been almost exactly 100 years since a player made a pitching start while also leading the majors in homers. Babe Ruth did it. We're literally getting the hype we were told we would get. Shohei Ohtani's hitting homers, leads the league, and he's going to be pitching.
Yeah.
And his pitching isn't that bad either. It's crazy. Like, if he can keep this up, it's 1 month. We'll see. But so far, even the fact that he's doing it, and he did it in 18, and he's doing it now, when all the injuries and all that, we were like, maybe you don't even do it. Like, nope. We'll just run him out there. He's going to go Babe Ruth on everyone. It's crazy. His swing is so weird, and I love it.
He's got a lot of pop in that swing. Doesn't seem like it's a swing that generates a lot of power, but my goodness, that guy can hit the ball far.
I don't get it, Trev. It's like a trampoline bat or something. It's just when he hits one oppo, it just never looks like he actually got it to me. And then I'm like, what? He got it.
Let me tell you something, Jim. A lot of guys are searching for that Japanese wood.
Ooh.
When you get a Japanese wood bat, it's harder. I don't know what the deal is. There's some SSKs that I forget who used to have those. Somebody used to have those. And boy, those things were hard. I bet you Ohtani's got some nice, dense, perfect wood bats. I'd like to investigate that a little bit.
Okay.
It's not like a cheating thing or anything, but I bet you he's got like incredible sticks.
Yeah. I'm interested. There's a website called like What Players Wear, whatproswear.com, and they usually have like all the equipment that guys, like their gloves, their cleats, their bat. It says that looking. They don't have it up here. They have everything else. They have his cleats, his batting gloves. They just don't have his bat.
Curious. I'll look into that a little bit.
There's a blank square where it should be. What the hell? So
What's
yeah,
funny
Ohtani's Babe Ruth.
Think about Babe Ruth and like what Ohtani's doing, and then you have to imagine like the rest of the league was just like there's some really good hitters and home run hitters in the league, and then back when Babe Ruth was playing, like he was like twice as good as any other hitter too, like as far as like power. So it's interesting to think about that. Like if Ohtani was leading the league with 40 homers, and the next highest person was like at 20, like Babe Ruth was so dominant for his time.
A6, Trev. A6 Maple Bat. Gold Stage seems to be a premium label in Japan.
I bet you nobody else is swinging A6 in the show except for Shohei.
Can I get some juice?
Show. Hey.
So yeah,
Makes you
just
think.
making history, leading the league in homers, starting pitching. And they played him in left field for the first time, which should qualm their, we're not going to hit him on days when he pitches because we don't want to lose the DH. Or would you still lose the DH if you move him to the field from pitcher?
So if he's pitching and then he goes to left field, you still got to replace the
So
pitcher.
the left
You're
field, you
good.
still,
You lose the left fielder.
but you wouldn't lose the DH?
I think so.
I don't think so because he stays in the field.
Yeah.
So that might
You're
be their way.
replacing the pitcher.
That might be their way around that and get him to hit and pitch in the same game more often. He played, it was the first time he ever played the outfield or the field
The field.
in MLB. That's cool.
It's a freak.
Wild. He
He pitches tonight?
Monday,
Monday.
which is today.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was going up against the Rangers, and I was on the IG Live saying Corbin Burns, Shohei Ohtani, a good chance they might throw no hitters tonight because of the offenses they're facing. And then Willie Calhoun was in the chat.
Ooh.
So I said I had to walk that one back a little bit. I said, hey, maybe Willie, you'll take him deep tonight.
Your
I don't
boy
know.
Willie.
Damn.
I gotta watch what I'm saying.
Damn.
Me or you, Jake?
You.
It's always you, baby.
All right. I'm giving the Are We Doing Boners award.
Oh, wow.
I did see you write that in there.
We doing boners award.
You gotta stay with me here. I'm gonna try to piece it all together for
Please.
everyone. I'm
Okay.
talking
That's what
our
awards
guy.
are.
What?
That's what awards are. Piecing it together.
Usually, if you ask me that question, are we doing boners? I'm gonna say yes. This one, I'm not sure. I'm talking about Emmanuel Clase, reliever for
Class A.
the Cleveland Class A. I was
think
wondering.
So.
If
I think
is
it
it Class
is.
A?
We're not great at names,
Chat-
but I
chat
think it's
reference on
Class
that?
A.
Oh.
Whatever. Emmanuel from the Indians. Okay. If you look at his transaction history here, let's get down here. I had it up. So he was signed by the Padres. Then he was traded to the Rangers as a player to be named later for Brett Nicholas. Now, people don't know who Brett Nicholas is. Very nice guy.
Okay.
But he's essentially Rube Baker. You know who Rube Baker is?
Rube Baker.
Like the catcher that has to recite the
Is he also a
Victoria's
nice
Secret
guy?
catalog. Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yes.
So
I'm
the
just-
Rangers essentially, I'm piecing it. The Rangers essentially got Class A for free from the Padres. And then they shipped him off to the Indians in the Kluber deal.
Uh-huh.
So he's been really good. 2020, guess what happens? Makes his debut in 2019, has a good year. 2020, gets banged for PEDs. That's where my hesitation comes in. Misses the entire season from that. Then he comes back. And I don't know if you guys have watched this guy pitch.
Mm-hmm.
Like 102 mile an hour cutter.
Yeah.
It's disgusting. So he's had this strange transaction thing. The Indians basically got him for free after the Rangers gave up on him, and they got him for free. Now he's throwing probably my favorite pitch in all of baseball now. He looks disgusting, but I'm not sure, like, am I supposed to be rooting for this guy? Am I doing boners with Emmanuel Clase? Because he is a steroid guy. He got popped, missed a whole season, but he's so good right now and so fun to watch. What am I supposed to do? How do you guys feel about that?
I think you can root for him, man. I don't know.
What did he get popped for? Do we care?
Just says a performance enhancing.
Okay.
Got 80 games. They gave him the full season and counted that last year. The 60 games counted as a 80 game suspension. For him.
There's no transparency. There's zero transparency, really, between these pops unless you're like Cano, and then there's so much like going into exactly the drug he took and why he took it and all that. And there's so many stories of guys that get popped and it says PEDs, and then you like read deeper and it's not. That I almost don't even input that as information. Like I have no idea if this dude actually was like cheating the game, or he was recovering from an injury, or he would just like something small that you would get at a pharmacy. Like it's kind of, they've watered down that suspension in my brain. Like I don't actually consider anyone, unless it really comes out. Like Cano's really came out and they're like, no, it's this and this and this, and he's a repeat offender.
Yeah.
So I almost don't hold it against guys that get just popped once.
Montes.
Yeah.
He's 23 years old. He's yet to give up an earned run. He's 9.1 innings pitched. He's got 11 Ks. I don't even think he's figured out the kind of pitcher he can be. Like I think he has the stuff to like be like a elite reliever. And the Indians, again, just finding pitching out of nowhere is kind of the story here.
Yeah, I don't know his stats, but he looked incredibly wild against the Yankees. I'm looking at like his spray charts.
He has 3
now.
walks to 11 strikeouts right now. But when you throw that damn hard and the ball is moving that much,
Yeah.
It's unbelievable.
he basically cutter slider guy. I want to root for him. Like basically, that's my whole thing. Is I want to root for this guy. I think watching him pitch is so fun, but I also don't like the steroid thing. So my boner's confused right now.
Let's root for him. I mean, It obviously sucks a little bit, and I think we still, I get caught up in the 90s era because you think about steroids and you still jump to McGuire, Canseco, these big guys, and that's not Class A. So I'm going to root for him. I mean, a 102 cutter, it's kind of unreal. Like, he threw one the other day while we were watching, and it's just like, oh, my God. Like, that's unreal. Like, that's where I laugh at A-Rod referencing Tony Gwynn, because guess what Tony Gwynn didn't see? 102 cutters, man. So, yeah, I think we could boner up for him. I think he's gross.
He's got a great baseball savant page, Jim. I know you like that. 72% of the time he's throwing the cutter. 24% he's throwing a slider. And the pitches are just nasty, man. They're just nasty. I want people to go check him out.
Do it.
Did you ask Chris Rose? Cleveland guy.
I didn't. I should.
Okay.
Tomorrow I'll ask him about him. On our IG Live.
Insta Live.
11:30 Eastern. JOMBOY Media Instagram page.
Like
Jake,
that.
who's
Like
your
that.
award?
My award just got renamed. It was going to be the Neil Allen Award, but we're doing the Let's Do Boners Award.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I'm doing the Let's Do Boners Award because Trev, and I don't think you realize this, but there's some beautiful artistry that's about to go on. I am giving my award to Kent Emanuel. So we went from Emmanuel Class A to Kent Emanuel.
Ooh.
My guy made his major league debut for the Stros. Our guy, Odo, gets hurt. We're going to check in on him. We'll get an update for you guys. Gets pulled after 1 out. Kent, you're in, buddy. The lefty, 28 years old, making his major league debut. Probably didn't know he was going to pitch this day. They were probably expecting 6 strong out of Odo and then go to the meat of the bullpen. What does Kent come do? He comes in and he throws the baseball, baby. 8.2 innings. Goes the rest of the way. He only gives up 2 runs, 2 homers. I mean, for a major league debut, I can't even imagine, man. Like, that would be the last thing on my mind. I'd just be hoping to throw strikes and get some outs. Kent said, screw that. You gave me the bump. I'm going. 8.2 is the first time a reliever's gone that long since 88.
Ernie Shore. I took a guess.
You took a guess. It was Neil Allen in 88. So 30-plus years. And, Trev, here's the kicker. My guy got popped for a PED suspension. Kent Emanuel. But it's controversial. He got tested positive for DHCMT, which I guess is this old steroid that I don't know. There's a bunch of articles on it. Ken Rosenthal wrote one. It's like kind of controversial. My guy Kent is so built up and pissed off, he got the number 0 because he said, I should have been suspended for that many games. He said it in his post-game presser. Yes, after his major league debut, where he came out and pitched 8.2 in relief, he said, I'm wearing number 0 because that's how many games I should have been suspended. Man, are you going to fit in well in Houston, buddy? Keep that up. Keep shoving, my man, and good for you. I don't know anything about the actual DHCMT, but apparently there's a discussion around it. But, again, it goes back to what we're saying. I mean, Kent is 28. He kind of looks like
East German steroid from the 70s and 80s.
So, like,
there was a lot of guys that it stands a ball in this. Like, a lot of guys were getting popped for it out of nowhere. I think that's where I'm forgetting his name now. Chris Colabello, former teammate of mine.
Mm-hmm.
He's denied it vehemently that he didn't take any steroids. But what a line right there. 0 on my back because that's how many games I should have been suspended for.
Yes.
Welcome to Houston.
He was waiting on that one. I wanted to give him standout, but MadBum no hit, so I altered. But yeah, that's really cool. Do you know who Ernie Shore is?
Ernie Shore? Sure don't.
Ernie Shore threw a perfect game, but it doesn't count because Babe Ruth threw to one pitcher. He threw like 2.
Oh, yes.
He threw like 2 pitches. The umpire called him balls, and then Babe Ruth charged the umpire. He got ejected.
Yeah.
Ernie Shore replaced him, got 27 batters
Well, Babe got him loose.
He got all 27 batters that he faced
Twist
out.
the can.
But Babe let the first runner on 4-pitch walk and got ejected. Pretty funny. Pretty good story.
Babe got him loose.
Kent.
I'm reading the article about Kent Emanuel in the Wall Street Journal right now, so everyone go check that out because I'm sure there's some good nuggets in there. What do you think they said? Was he lined up to start the next day, or
no? I bet he was a bulk guy for Odo. I mean, Odo was. I don't have no idea. I'm guessing he was I thought about that. If he had no idea, but I'm guessing they said hey, Odo's not going to go deep because he's still starting. I guess he's still getting into the season. You're going to be the second guy out. But I'm totally taking a blind guess.
8 2/3 is he's probably. I'll go 4.
There was a funny
if
graphic.
I'm good, I'll go 4.
There's a funny graphic of Kent Emanuel. They put up underneath him MLB debut, and he's facing Pujols, and the graphic said has homered off 413 different MLB pitchers or whatever the number is. It's kind of funny. And then Pujols homered, and then Shohei homered, but he did go 8.2.
I think Emmanuel got called up Friday, so I mean he was around. I don't know. Interesting stuff, but talk about everyone's major league debut is a story, and Kent's got a good one.
Yeah. Do you want to do elevator talk? I guess that's how we usually end the show.
Okay.
I'm about to dive deep into
a long one today.
It is. I'm going to dive deep into this Rockies thing though. The official statement's interesting.
We also have to give out the best friend of the week.
Oh, best friend of the week. Who was it?
Well, as much as Gibby tried to go for his third, the best friend of the week is Rhys Hoskins with the 3 homers, 6 ribbies, 4 for 13. Good job, Rhys.
Great job by Rhys.
Yeah, I needed that from you personally. So
yeah. The Rockies official statement says that the Colorado Rockies announced that the club and executive vice president / general manager Jeff Bridich have mutually agreed that he will step down from his role effective immediately. So it sounds like they said we're firing you or you're stepping down. That's usually what that structure of that sentence means. And then I found interesting that they're Fiesel, the club's executive vice president, he's been named president and chief operating staff, and he will now oversee baseball operations in addition to his current responsibilities, leading all facets of the club's business operations, including spearheading the organization's role as host of 2021 MLB All-Star Game festivities in July. I don't know why that's included in this at all.
Yeah. Just getting people excited about it.
Yeah. Reminder, we do have the All-Star Game.
Can't believe this guy's name is Fiesel. That's tough. It's just way too close to Weasel.
Fiesel the Weasel? Yeah,
come on.
He heard that growing up.
It still does. That's how he got the gig.
Also measle. Measles aren't a good thing.
When you type in Fiesel, to Google, my auto populate brings up Fiesel the Muffin Thief. Oh, it's a World of Warcraft thing.
Huge.
All right. Thought it was a real life muffin.
We got
thief.
the wowers.
All right. We can do a little quick
Elevator. 1 minute.
1 minute on the clock because
the clock.
I got to be honest with you guys. I've been holding in a piece since Trev started the AL recap, and it's spinning the wheel. If you're stuck in an elevator with a
hey now.
If you're stuck in an elevator, Philadelphia Phillies. Wow.
Oh, Jesus. End the episode.
And they've
got an outfield. They've got Wheeler. They've got Nola. Harper's hot.
Bomb. That was a bomb he hit. He went into the staircase. You want to talk about something? Say, hey, did you hit that? Did you see that ball Harper hit in Colorado? It went out of the stadium because it went into a staircase, and they never found it again, actually, ever.
I've seen live Bryce Harper hit a home run in Colorado. How about that?
You sure?
Yeah.
He's a pretty good player.
Yeah, all time. Overshadows the rest of the team.
Nice. They're second worst in OPS from third basemen. They're 14th.
Didi's worldly.
No, he's 14th at shortstop in OPS. First base is 13. So don't believe what BBD tweets.
Follow BBD.
Reese got hot.
Phillies updates.
Nick Maton's taken the hearts of Phillies fans.
Yeah.
He's got several multi-hit games in a row coming up. He's got a 400-something batting average in his first 6 games. A lot of people are like, hey, can we have him play center field when Gene comes back? Because they get nothing out of center field.
Hey, easy. Mickey Moniak.
They
up
are.
there.
They
He's big
are.
homer.
I'm just
Field
telling
shot.
you what the replies to all my tweets
They
say.
are 30th in OPS from center fielders out of 30 teams.
That's not
Moniak
good.
did homer recently.
Sorry, Phillies fans, that elevator talk has gone south with
Yeah.
you. But if you need positivity,
Our hand's
go to
been
BBD's
forced.
Twitter
right
feed.
here.
We're just fighting the demon.
No, the is it Maton or Matan?
I think it's Maton. He's brothers with the not
Phil.
twins, Indians reliever.
Phil Maton.
Nick.
Matan. Nick, yeah, man. His last 4 games have been multi-hit for a rook. He's got a hit in every game.
The
6 games.
Phillies
as a rookie.
fans are going a little overboard.
Phil?
They're calling him the next
Nick.
Chase Utley,
Oh,
and that's
Phil's not
too
a rookie.
much. But
It's a little hot.
he's played 6 games, guys. But they think he gives the same energy. And
6
they saw Chase Utley, and I
starting his
didn't,
MLB
so.
career, 11 for 22. Go get it, kid.
Love that.
Oh man, I gotta pee so bad.
Thanks, everybody.
You can go pee.
Yeah, I'm out.
We love you. We're all going to pee.